whole day.
What time did you go nap?
I think like 4, maybe 3:30. I think I did 3:30.
That's fresh, bro.
I know. Now my mind is mush. I don't know how I'm gonna talk.
Well, we're live, so.
Okay, good. I should have
What is
known.
up, everybody? I was trying to get you. I was trying to catch you. I was trying to get you to say something incriminating.
Always.
Just kidding.
I know. Easy.
Oh my gosh. What's up, everybody? I am Sam, and Nicole is on the telly, as some would say. On the other,
Who says that?
I don't know. People in London, I think.
You've been watching too much YouTube
God.
today.
Yeah, I have. My brain is mush, just like you.
Yep.
And welcome to Film Crawl, where we do weekly. We're a weekly movie podcast. Does anyone do weekly movie podcasts besides us?
I'm sure there's some out there.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure. Okay.
You sound so shocked that we're weekly.
I know, dude. We've been weekly for a long time now.
I know. It is funny. Like, all of our friends are texting us like, damn, you guys are still doing it?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, weekly
Hey,
podcast
we're still here.
where Nicole and I give us, we talk about shit movies. We talk about good movies. And we try to give you the honest perspective from an audience member.
Yep.
We don't try to be, like, too critical, I think, for the most part. Kind of. Sort of. We don't think like critics is what I'm trying to say.
In our own way. Yeah. We're the civilians for you guys to make it relatable.
So if you are new here and you're watching on YouTube, enjoy the wonderful background. It is Star Wars Day, so enjoy Kylo behind my slideshow.
Hey, I gotta check that out, man.
Usually we have us like physically present, but with lockdown we can't. So
God, it's been months.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. Hit the like, subscribe button, comment below what you thought of Colossal. And just, every week, man. Every week at 8 a.m. the YouTube video drops. If you're listening wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe, follow.
Leave that review.
Leave a review. Helps us out greatly. And every week it comes out at like midnight, so on Tuesdays. Yeah. So shit.
We're here for you.
Yeah. That's where you get all of our content. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at The Film Crawl.
We're still active, kind of, right? We're pretty good.
We're kind of alive there. Kind of.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
The main posts go out, okay? The main posts go out.
Keeps them informed, keeps them updated.
Oh, man. Now, to the nitty-gritty. We're doing Colossal. It's on Hulu right now. If you haven't watched it, it's starring Anne Hathaway, Jason Sudeikis. How do I say it? Sudeikis?
Yeah, I think that's it. Sudeikis, I think. Sudeikis.
And is directed by Nacho Vigalondo. First movie I've seen of his.
Same.
We do spoiler talk here, so if you are new, pause it, go watch it, come back. This is your spoiler warning officially. It can drop at any moment.
And spoilers for anything could come up, possibly for any show.
Any movie in existence at this
I'm
time.
not liable for any of that.
Not liable for your feelings being crushed because we ruined a show. Basically, if the conversation goes anywhere and it's something that you don't want spoiled and we're talking about it, might be best to just like fast forward a little bit.
If we start mentioning any other actor's name, turn it off.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's get into Colossal, dude.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how you liked it, dude.
Dude, I don't even know where to start, dude.
I can't imagine. This whole time, I couldn't imagine what you were like watching this.
Like, what do you mean? Wait.
I don't know. Like, it's such a weird film that goes off the rails,
It's so,
and so
like...
it's so unlike anything we've watched on the pod.
It is,
so, yeah. I don't know. I was just curious what you thought.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
What is it? The internet doesn't even know what it is. They say sci-fi, comedy, romance, fucking drama.
I would just label it a sci-fi, honestly.
I read more that it was comedy than anything on the internet, and this movie is 100% not comedy to me.
It's like dark humor, dark comedy.
Maybe.
Which you're not into, huh? We've talked about that before, huh?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe someone hasn't just landed it for me yet. I don't know.
Okay. So I think this is one of those films that really whoever like if you're watching it, whatever your situation is or what you've been through in your life, you get a different perspective out of it. So everyone has a way of watching it that's different for them, if that makes sense. I mean, like, obviously, but like, I feel like it hit me differently, and for you it didn't like connect, but that's just because the situation depicted in the film is kind of like is really different. Do you know
I
what I'm
get you.
saying?
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of that would be true for a lot of things, like movie wise.
But
But in this movie, I think
yes.
it's more touted that way. I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but this one more than most, it's like it juggles different genres and different themes, but I think your viewpoint going into it is uniquely your own, and I like that about this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's you're going to take something away from it that somebody else won't take away from it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what hurt me the most is that I read it was comedy. It just hurt me. Like, I don't know if even if it's dark comedy, that sometimes hits the internet like as a genre, right?
Yeah, so it planted the seed in your mind.
Yeah, so I think this planted a very like it presented itself as being awkward like when I watched it because I didn't know, I couldn't tell in the movie tone if it was comedy or not. There were some laughable moments, right? That like, because Jason and Anne they're pretty funny people. Like,
Yeah.
they've been in different stuff that are actual like, full-fledged comedies and stuff. But
Right.
I just didn't laugh as much as I thought I would. But
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
no, I didn't, and I was like, this is just like a sci-fi drama. Like, this is not romantic to me at all. I don't know why Rotten Tomatoes says it's a romance. I don't know why Google says it's a fucking comedy, but
Yeah, I think romance is the least genre of it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the genre it is the furthest from.
But with that said, with all that confusion, I think that actually is a little bit of an advantage for it. I think it's a great concept, like, as a movie. Like, I think this is like,
It's original.
it's
for
super
sure.
different and original. So I give it points there. But
Okay.
I don't know, dude. Were you buying? Or I guess we're gonna go to dislikes first. Let's just do this.
Oh, okay.
Were you buying Anne Hathaway as an alcoholic?
Honestly, I was. Like, I did not like how they portrayed it as, if you go into this thinking like it's going to be heavily focused on her as an alcoholic, you're going to be disappointed, because to that effect it doesn't hype that up. And
Got you.
I know a lot of people give Anne Hathaway like a lot of slack for, I don't know, overacting or something. Like, but I feel like it needed more of that on that angle. But the way the movie dived into her addiction outweighed that. So like I thought it balanced it pretty well, but I wanted to see more of her outwardly like kind of crumbling. But I thought, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of talking like how this movie is. It's very confusing. I'm gonna be honest. I liked this movie. Like,
Okay.
But yeah, no, I see what you're saying about her, like the portrayal of like alcoholism. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things in this that a lot of stuff happens that I feel like I didn't really care about her alcoholism as much as maybe I should have. Like, they try to press it pretty hard, especially towards the end
Right.
where she's like clean at that moment.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But like I wasn't involved with the characters as much as I felt like I should have been in those moments. Like I was just like,
Okay. So
okay,
did you
but I
want more like story behind everything, or like more situations where it portrays how it affects her life?
yeah, because they do a good job of like telling us that she's like pretty much a screw up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, like I felt like there weren't enough heavier consequences on her screw ups. Like the monster, the kaiju thing that she is like is a like metaphor for herself.
Yeah, because
And
we're all monsters to ourselves, bro.
yeah, in terms of her like destroying other people's lives, I guess you could say, or
Right.
that's kind of how I was taking that. But um, I felt like in her personal life, like okay, she lost her boyfriend, um, but like things aren't like she's too like clean and like pretty somehow. Like I don't know, it's just not like
Okay.
portrayed as I'd like it to be.
I
That's the
think they
best
relied
way.
on her hair, like the costuming,
Yeah,
to be like, yeah, she's a fuck up, but she's still Anne Hathaway. She's still like beautiful, and like we're just gonna put heavy eyeliner on her, and she'll be an alcoholic.
yeah. Like I didn't feel
Yeah.
like she was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
She'd be much messier, I feel like. But
Okay. But I
besides
kind
sleeping
of
on an air mattress,
Oh my god, sleeping on an air mattress would ruin anybody's life.
my back hurts watching that.
Jesus. Also, yeah, that one like for a tall person, that one did not seem very accommodating.
The what?
The like as a tall person, that one did not seem very accommodating for anybody with legs.
Oh yeah,
So you would have to be in full fetal position at all times to
yeah,
sleep on that mattress. Have you do you use air mattresses when you go camping?
yeah. It's awful.
Damn, that's luxury,
It's
bro.
luxury, but it's still awful at the same
I
time.
know.
Like if it beats sleeping on the floor like 100%, but it's like I still wake up all fucked up.
Damn.
So I mean, when we camp, I'm up at like fucking 6, 5. Like,
Jesus, I can't believe you're a camper, man. I don't know how you do it.
can't go outside, bro.
Can't do it.
But that was my take on it, Anne. I like her. Like I like a lot of her
Okay.
movies, but I just was not feeling it. I don't both of the characters here I just wasn't feeling like connected. I felt like Jason Sudeikis' character, what's his name? Oscar like
Oscar, yeah.
he like is an asshole, he's manipulative. Like I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same he's like a fucking child. Like I just wanted to punch him in the face the whole time. Like
But that's like that's still feelings towards the character, Like that's
I guess,
good
but I
in a
didn't.
sense.
I guess I wasn't really supposed to feel anything for him, like sympathy. But um, I the only part I liked about that was that as the end,
Oh, when he gets flung
which
to the
he yeets
stars
him to the freaking
to Hercules.
like what the hell?
I mean, that's one way to get rid of a problem, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's more of like a coming of up story of herself, like breaking her habit, two like not being attached to these people that are trying to control her or tell her how she should be.
Yeah.
Obviously she has a terrible habit, and Tim, like her ex, has like great points though. Like she shouldn't be.
Yeah, but he's also an asshole.
He's an asshole at the same time, yes. But
I think it's about like navigating the toxic people that are in our life and realizing your problems, how to handle your issues, and then going forward and like, either getting rid of the it's kind of ruining your progress, your healing, or just coming to terms with what that relationship means. So I think like that's the heavy, but like when you go into this movie, you're like, okay, it's gonna be this thing of her overcoming her addiction, and it is, but it does that in a way that's subtle and show you in these different forms, which is which are the different genre tones of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where that does connect, and there are times where that doesn't.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some, a lot of it does feel like, not a lot of it, there's a few moments that feel very kind of forced or unnecessary.
Name one of them. You got one?
Did you say name one?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the scene where, towards the end, where Tim comes back, he's at the hotel or whatever,
Right.
and she takes him to the bar.
Yeah.
And, Jason's too tight. Oscar kind of goes off the rails and, like, shows his hand of, like, oh, I'm controlling her and she'll do whatever I say. Like, you think you're the man in her life? Now I'm the man in her life. Watch this. And he lights that whole, whatever the fuck that was. That dynamite? That's not dynamite, but what the fuck was it?
Firecracker, yeah.
Yeah. That whole scene was unnecessary.
I was straight faced the whole time.
Of course.
like eating my Cheetos. So, like, I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Like, one, Tim wouldn't give a flying fuck of who this guy is. Like, right? Like, why did she even take him in there? They didn't really.
He wanted to go.
Oh yeah, because she was like, I gotta go to work or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, why do they have to have that conversation? They like that scene. I get what you're saying because I didn't like it either. But that moment, they're like, they arrive there, and then they all sit down like they were expecting this to happen. Like they all like they text each other and like, we're meeting at the bar at 5 and we're gonna fucking talk this over. Like.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's not how it led up to it though, because he was like, oh, I'll just drive you to work so you don't have to take a cab or whatever, and then it just turns into this like interview thing, which just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it was just set up poorly. Like, it was, I don't know, I felt like it was set up weird. Maybe if like Tim sat down and was like, oh, this place is pretty cool, and then he came over and like sat with him without being invited, then it felt weird, then that maybe would have been a little bit better. But the way that it, like, the tone and the vibe was like, they all, I don't know if this was cut out or something, like in post, but like they all, like, it was like in agreement that they were going to have this conversation. Like, it didn't, that part was weird to me, really fucking weird to me. I don't know, I was just kind of like, is this really developing? Is it developing the story though?
That happens, right? Like, name one other part where you felt like that with Oscar specifically.
So I kind of thought of the crackhead guy, but not. I actually like that part more because it's telling us more about Oscar's character.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of like another moment that's like just so out of place.
Yeah.
There's a couple, and I think they have to do with like her guy that she starts hooking up with.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling a lot of this stuff in this film. I'm kind of mad about it. But that's that moment. Like, you brought up a really good point with that firecracker one. I was just kind of like, okay, he's psycho. Like, this almost turned into like a fucking like, what's that movie, The Gift or whatever, what's his
you've
face?
seen that? I almost wanted to do that for
it's actually pretty good, but
okay.
like he's like gonna turn into like a psycho killer. Like, it was weird. I'm like, what's up with the monster? Like, we're not even talking about the monsters or anything. I don't know. The monsters are totally metaphorical.
They also had a really low budget. Like, they didn't have the budget to show us those
and you
monsters.
can tell it's like you can tell it's low budget movie. Like, it's coming off
like
as
an indie,
like an indie
film.
And that's fine because we love indies on the show. But I was just kind of like, I didn't care. I guess I just didn't care, dude. I don't know. I was like, wow, you're fucking blowing up your bar. Good for you. You got a big dick, I guess, dude. Fuck you.
Okay, can I make a point or like ask a question, kind of?
Okay.
Is it because like you haven't really had, not that you haven't had any toxic people, but to that extent of like, especially in relationships, of like somebody controlling your life or like kind of manipulating you in a relationship? Do you know what I mean? Like that's the reason you're not really connecting with what they were trying to get at there.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some toxic
Oscar,
ass relationships. Um, but I don't think any of them were to the point where one person was manipulating the other.
Mm.
Just personal, in case any exes are listening. But like I feel like both of us were in the wrong in most of those. Like we both did
Okay.
stupid shit. It wasn't like this whole like one-sided. I can't do
Mm.
anything. I'm too weak to get out kind of thing.
Yeah.
There were points in those where it may have felt that way and people may have perceived it that way too. But for my own doing too, I was that dick side as well. So I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know if that could have been a huge effect on it. Like I get what you're saying, Nicole. Like
Okay.
if you're personally like in these positions, of course the movie's gonna speak a little bit more to you. I mean that's like music too, right? Like
Exactly.
song comes out that speaks to you. But
Yeah.
maybe I just didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, and like that's not a bad, that's just you didn't connect with it. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't like hit you. I'm not saying like I've been in these horrible relationships and like it's not the it's
You
hard to
don't have to
describe.
physically have gone through it, but I know what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
you're connecting more with the story and the way it's trying to tell than I am, and
Okay,
and
good. Yeah, yeah,
and
that's exactly.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I really think I went into this like thinking it was supposed to be funny, and like I was like, this is
Yeah.
actually kind of deep, and I wasn't like mad that it wasn't funny, but I was like, why is everyone saying it's like a comedy? Like I looked it up.
It is surprisingly deep. Like
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty
after
deep.
the first like 25 minutes I was like, okay, I guess this is definitely going to be an introspective like film.
Right? Yeah, you could tell. Like
Yeah.
the moment she gets basically kicked out, and you could tell if it's gonna be like a real comedy or not, like right at the
Mhm.
beginning. Like
Yep.
movies start hitting you right away. And this movie was just like sad, and that's fine because she gets dumped basically.
Yeah. But it's so clever how he did, because he wrote, so Nacho, he wrote the script
Mm-hmm.
too, as well as directing. It's so clever how he knows those tropes and kind of turn them on their head, you know? Like
Yeah.
the opening when she walks in the door and she's like clearly hungover and she's like, oh shit, like there's a guy on the other end and
Mm-hmm.
she's kind of like tiptoeing around that.
Mm-hmm.
That starts off as like that's how romantic comedy starts, right?
Right.
So you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is what it's gonna be, and like it's gonna,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And she gets dumped, and then she finds Jason.
yep,
And I was like, this is where it's going.
yeah, and then he turns it around, which in a
It
very clever
does.
way.
Yeah.
There's just some moments like it just gets derailed a little bit and
I
it loses
got you.
focus.
Yeah. So I did think it was gonna be like a romantic comedy with Jason. I didn't expect him to be an asshole, Oscar. So.
I usually do not like Jason. Like, I don't like him as an actor. I don't think he's that funny. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he's that good. I've never liked him in really anything, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he was really, I liked him a lot in this.
He's pretty creepy.
Yeah, he was very creepy. I'm glad you saw the creepiness of him at least. Like him sitting on the couch.
Bro, when
Very
you
creepy.
walk in,
Very
like, what the
creepy.
fuck?
Yes. That
No,
was
I
horrible.
was getting those vibes, but it was just, I guess it was like, we were rolling through different types of things. And I feel like I was behind the whole time. Like,
Okay.
I wasn't just there. What, do you have anything else on your mind that you like
That
really,
bothered me.
really disliked? Yeah. Do you like the ending?
Mm,
Does the ending do you well?
I didn't hate the ending. It was like, you mean her sitting at the bar and that whole thing?
Yeah, that
I
was like
guess
the only funny part, like the one of the funny parts I laughed at.
her saying, wait, her going into the bar?
Yeah, and the girl's like, "Do you want a drink?" And she like laughs at it, and I laughed at it because that's what started this. Like her drinking problem was what started this whole
Oh.
journey.
See, that kind of was just like, to me.
Oh,
That's funny.
I was like, I kind of like, I did the Idris laugh, like
Oh, yeah, okay, I thought, I was gonna say, it
like
has
the
to be like
scoff.
a snort chuckle.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't
Um,
like dying, but I was like, oh, like that's the full circle that the movie
yeah,
was
I
like gonna
kind
go
of,
for.
to touch on what you mentioned a few minutes ago, the whole relationship with the pretty boy, whatever, I forgot his name.
Tim, right? Tim, yeah, yeah.
yes, like
Oh no,
I
the other
get.
guy. The other guy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, not Tim. Yeah, I forget what
Joel?
his name
Something
was.
like that. I think it's Joel.
It was something like Jockey. Yeah, for sure. Um, I get why it's in the movie, and I wanted to like connect with that more, but there just wasn't enough there, and it kind of felt um,
Like filler.
yeah, like filler, but also it didn't pay off
Mm-hmm.
really, and maybe I needed to watch it again because maybe I'm missing something, and like it did because he's clearly like he's a clearly important if they're showing him at the end watching the news and seeing her on the news. Um, so I don't. Yeah, I guess I'm just missing something, but I just wish there was more there.
What
But
what
I don't
pissed me
know.
off with that is I'm with you. Like I think they like wanted to go there and then
Mm-hmm.
didn't go there and then kept it in. Like some of the
Mm.
parts in. And to me it was just weird. Like there's this weird moment when they hook up, then they, Oscar finds out they hooked up, becomes even more of a
Yes.
dick. He's like starting to reveal himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
um which is fine. And you have the whole like crackhead part where he's a douche. um and then the next they have the big fight,
Yeah.
which I don't what was she wasn't drunk at that point, was she?
No, so
I
that's
don't
also another
I
thing
don't
that
get how
they
she
didn't
passed
really.
out.
I think that when she's passing out, like I think she's withdrawing, right? She's like slowly not drinking, and so
Hmm.
when she blacks out, maybe that's an effect of it. I don't know, but I think in those moments, I maybe he's lying to her that she blacked out. Like who knows? I don't know.
Like he fucking knocked her out.
Yeah, like that confused me, or it didn't confuse me, but it's like I kind of wanted more
Yeah,
in that
I'm lost
aspect.
here. Like she falls, literally trips in a playground with like fucking, what do you call it, wood
Yeah,
chips, and she's dead. Wakes up the next morning,
it's
and
completely knocked. Yeah,
and then wakes up the next morning, and the whole city's destroyed. I'm like 90% sure she was not drunk when she tripped,
yeah,
because
no, no,
she
no.
was clean at that moment. I felt like,
Yes,
and she trips, blacks out, and then wakes up. We don't get the full story because he doesn't tell her about the destruction that she caused,
hmm
and then that's it.
and they kind of played it to where it seemed once we start seeing that this monster's connected to her and
Mm-hmm.
that this whole this robot, which is his avatar, like comes into play. It kind of seemed like he knew about it all along. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like he kind of was proud of the fact that it just I don't know. I just got the vibe that like I don't think he did, but I got the vibe that he knew that he had this avatar or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, and he wanted to fuck with her, and he wanted to shine her in his entrance. So when she got knocked down and she basically destroyed parts of Seoul,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, okay, this is my moment to come in and be like, oh, now everyone's gonna this is a good time to showcase who I
Yeah.
am. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I got that vibe that he just knew what was happening.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I don't think he knew because they like mentioned it a lot, but the way his character's built, I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
yeah, because he's manipulative like
yeah.
that.
So,
The other moment that kind of weirded me out and they didn't really dive into was when we first meet his friends, the pretty boy and then
yeah.
the crack guy. I forget their names. Um, when she's trying to seduce him and get him to kiss her, and then she like backs away,
Yeah.
and then Oscar comes running back and is like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Like it seemed like there was
There was a story
uh
there.
yeah, like he was yelling at him. I thought he was a minor, honestly. I thought he was like
Oh, see. I thought he had.
17 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm. I thought he had been in like trouble for doing stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, or that.
yeah.
It was just kind of like, wait, why is he yelling at him?
Yeah, because
And they never go back to
he
that.
almost says something like along the lines of like you're already doing that or something. Like I like
Exact
there was a story there. They
exactly.
never came back to it. And then going back to the time when they find out, like she she trips and blacks out and wakes up, and then the next day that guy's there, the pretty boy,
Mhm.
and he like has all the furniture and stuff,
Right.
and I started getting the tones right there that Oscar was being very manipulative, like, here's all this stuff, like, stay, that kind of stuff. Um,
Right.
but then the guy, Oscar starts showing his true colors, and then the guy, the pretty boy, like, just
Takes his
sides with
side.
him,
Yeah.
but doesn't say a word. Like, he didn't say a word for,
Yep.
like, the rest of the movie almost.
Mhm.
I'm like, there's like no payoff in it. I was just so confused. Like,
Yeah. I
Brooke
didn't
was
like that
watching
either.
with me, and she's like, I don't get why that guy is like not even saying one word. Like,
Right.
they'd even tell the audience, like if they had that moment with Anne Hathaway and the pretty boy, like if she was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you being with him? And he's like, he tells that
Mm.
backstory that we're looking for, like,
Yes.
oh, he's
Yeah.
got dirt on me, or something, and it's like, okay, I get his motives now, but it's just like, what? Like, no one even cares. It was almost like the moment before didn't even happen. It felt super weird to
Yeah.
me. So those moments were like
That's that's
off-putting.
it for sure.
Yeah. um
Um.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're diving in this one, bro.
I know. This is
Like,
such a movie though that's like it wants you to be deep, so I'm trying to see the meaning in everything.
yeah, we're diving into
And
it.
I don't know if that's like hurting it or I don't know, but yeah, no, I just wanted him to play a more I just wanted him to showcase himself more and
Mhm.
that didn't pay off like you said.
Mhm.
And it just kind of confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I was totally off. Like, I was taken out of the movie. I
Mm.
had more questions that I couldn't answer, that I was like thinking about, than instead of like watching the film. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just, maybe that's why I felt behind too. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck is going? Like, I felt like I had left, like left
Mm.
the house and then came back in 20 minutes later, and like missed a huge
Yeah,
chunk of something.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I
Like
was just like, what's going on?
it's um it's kind of like it gives you these moments and it does give you time to like process what you just saw
Mm,
and it feels like as soon as you process it it shows you this other huge moment and then you're like okay well I don't know how that connects or like I don't
mm,
know how I'm supposed to feel based on what I just saw, so it feels like you're constantly trying to see something or get caught up with that, so I
yeah,
think that's where that
yeah,
feeling comes from
yeah.
because I definitely got that too even though I was kind of seeing like the little moments.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I guess my last dislike, they kind of throw his hoarding issue. He's clearly a
It's
hoarder.
just random.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, very random. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like they were trying to give him his own addiction to deal with, but he's already a fucking manipulative asshole. Like that's enough of a problem to put in this movie of like he's here to try
Yeah,
to control her
yeah.
and be a fucking dick.
The
But
hoarding had nothing to do with it. Like,
so that was another moment in the movie that kind of just felt like
yeah, the
it didn't need to
only,
happen or it didn't need to be in that house. Like
yeah,
it it felt really creepy to me, but I was like, okay, like this would be well placed in another type of movie, you know?
right. The only good part out of that was like when he scratched like his mom out of the photos, or
Was that his mom or was that his ex that he was talking
or
about?
maybe that. I don't like, again, we don't even get enough detail, but like, you can tell he's hurting. So like, that was like the only like benefit for that moment. But for what you're saying, I didn't care. From my point of view, I thought he would be like clean cut, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
spotless house, like
Yeah,
these
exactly.
controlling people, like, they're spotless, like they come off
Okay.
nice and charming, right? And
Right.
like it would have fit him a little bit better, right? If maybe she goes over to his house earlier in the film, and you're like, oh yeah, she definitely digs him, or we're getting that vibe, right?
Yeah.
He's clean, he's got a nice house, like, but
Or like
it's
if
complete
even the
opposite.
stuff that he was giving her was his ex's stuff, you know? And
I
maybe it
know.
was.
And he
They
says it
don't
was like his
say
uncle's,
that,
but we
but
don't really know.
yeah. But like scratching somebody's face out of a picture, that's scary. If you have an ex,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't scratch the pictures out. I don't do anything to the photo, or if I feel really feel away, I cut them out. I don't scratch their fucking face out.
Yeah, that's just
That's creepy. So like you're giving us that moment of like, oh shit, like he's really psychotic, and then you don't really like dive into his side. And it's like,
mhm.
yes, it's Anne Hathaway's movie, it's Gloria's movie, it's her addiction that we're trying to deal with. But it kind of felt like they wanted to make it Oscar's movie as well.
Yeah. And then the moment with when they're kids,
Yeah.
um like he just destroys her project.
Well, so I
this
think
dude this dude hunts it down just to
he really
destroy.
does. But also it flew off like how far?
It
Like
flew like
you're
400 yards.
yeah, like on the other side of this gate there's just suddenly a forest that you can get
Yeah.
lost in.
Yeah. And then he just destroys it. Like what?
Did you notice though that like her project was way better than
Oh
his?
yeah, I get
Yeah.
with that was like, because he even said something like, "Oh, you were always winning, like beating me in projects and stuff, or something
Yeah.
along those lines." But I was just like, "What?" like, like
That's
okay,
childhood trauma, man.
I guess.
I mean like
Like you didn't need to be in
holding
the
a grudge
woods
that
for
long.
that. It would have just been better if he was a bully, pushed her to the ground, and stomped the shit out of her project. Like,
Okay,
why do we gotta
okay.
like climb into the woods for this? It was just weird. Like, maybe he was like secretive, like one of those fucking weirdos, like that, just like secretive, like has voodoo dolls and shit. Like, was that it? Like, I don't know. Like,
Okay, okay.
maybe they were
Or
going for it.
yeah, like if instead of the park having been built on the spot where that whole thing happened, maybe he like the park's always been there and he fucking bullied her there.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was gonna get across,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess that is the case. He bullied her in that spot where the park is now built, and they happen to get struck by lightning.
No, I would have liked it better though if like the park was already built and then like
Yes,
it
yes,
showed moments of him like pushing her and being a monster to
right,
the village that when they step on, that's how they appear.
right. Yep, I got you.
Yeah.
So just,
Dang, well, is there anything you liked? Like, did you like anything?
oh man,
I'm curious, man.
I'm trying to think. Like I said at the beginning, like I think it's a really good, like idea for a film. I see why it's
Yeah.
made. Whoa, can you hear me?
Did you like this? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Did you like the soundtrack at least?
Dude, I don't even remember it.
Oh my god. It really was just like sounds and stuff.
Okay. Um, they do a good job with like what the money they had. They do a lot. Obviously, they're very smart the way they wanted to do the visual effects, focusing them all at night, so that way it doesn't look as bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Besides the one scene where she's in the day, but um, so I give them props for like the smart, like, hey, we only have so much money, we're not gonna be able to spend this much,
Choices.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really good idea for a movie. I think it's like a little, kids think of like, we're with our toys, like we always wanted to like control like giant monsters and stuff. So I think that kind of like brings the kid out in some of us, and at least for me, I was like, this is kind of like an interesting topic for movies, but they're taking it, like they're spinning it, and then fucking Pacific Rim came out.
For sure. What would your like monster manifestation look like, do you think?
Oh man.
Mine would be like mist. It would be like fog. Like half
What?
of me would be like
Like you're like you can just disappear in the air.
I guess like kind of like the manifestation, how it's like it thunders and then the monster
Yeah.
appears, but like
That was a
half of my
cool
body
image
would be
actually,
that.
by the way.
It was, yeah.
I think that was a really cool way of doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um
How it just like appears.
yeah, and disappears like
I think half of me would be made of that, and then I don't know what the other half would look like, but it would be like I would be the manifestation of rain, I think.
What would I be, dude?
I
Do
think
your
you'd
tarot cards on me.
Oh my god. um I feel like you would be a robot, but
What is the
not like
robot? What, does it represent anything or no?
I mean, I don't think so. Maybe like the need for control of like being built and controlling of everything, or
Right.
like the all-knowing power of AI. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like you would be something very spacey, like in space. Whatever artist listen to us, like make your fan art. I don't know.
Yeah, if
But
there's
I feel
any
like you would be not your typical robot.
if
You
there's
would
any
be,
if there's any
yeah.
artists, please draw Nicole and I's version of our monster. I would like that. We'll put
Just
it
like I'm like talking to a police sketch artist, and that's how I would describe you.
put it on the Instagram.
Robotic.
Be astronaut. I could be like an astronaut of some sort.
Yeah, like something that's humanoid, but it's covered with armor and shit like that.
I'm an astronaut, but like the inside is like bones. Like I'm not like
Ooh.
like I'm skulls, dude. Pass it over here, bro. Okay, I didn't like that much. I'm honest, guys. I didn't fucking like that much. I mean,
dang.
Fuck, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
No, I threw you for a doozy when I picked this. Sam was kind of like, "What the fuck?"
You know, I'm here, open mind. You know, quarantine.
And you did. You're here now. When we're talking pretty deep about it, so that's.
I mean, it got us
like...
talking. That's why we do it, man.
I know.
We just like to see the movie and talk. So
I saw this movie, like, I didn't see it at all, but 2 years ago, I was somewhere downtown. I was walking by Film Bar, and I saw the poster for it. And I remember thinking, like, oh shit, like that seems interesting. I want to watch it. And then I totally forgot about it. And I was just scrolling Hulu the other day and saw that it was on there. And I was like, oh shit,
you discovered a movie in the worst user experience app ever, dude.
I know, exactly.
I'm actually surprised.
I think I literally had just finished. I don't know if it was Overlord or what movie I was watching, but yeah, it was one of those like totally random. Yeah, like okay, well here's this.
When I stopped watching this, fucking Jimmy Fallon started coming on. So I mean, it knows me at least, but like it has nothing to do with it. I do like the poster of this movie.
Yeah, it is a really cool one.
I would actually probably buy it.
What poster wouldn't you buy, dude? You'd buy anything.
I want the poster collection, bro.
We need a studio with all posters, man. That would be so sick.
That's the goal, man.
So sick.
One day,
one donates, bro.
When we get out of quarantine, bro. Let's do it then. Let's move on.
Okay.
We're gonna do with our shots we love. The shots in the movie that stick out, or sequence. Sometimes we hit sequence.
Sequence, yeah, we do a lot of those.
What were you thinking? You go first.
Oh. All of them feel cliche, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's what you get when you have a monster movie or a monster aspect. I kind of liked the profile of her watching the news on her TV, and it's like I think there's a lot of those moments, so I don't know how to differentiate one, but like I think it's the moment after she knocked out and like actually killed people.
And then she woke up, like, and the TV was
she woke up,
she was
she
there.
Stands up, yeah, it's like her watching it, and it kind of does a long shot of her watching it. So that one, it kind of, I don't know, it felt very simplistic and like reminiscent of what the movie.
I feel like all those shots are us right now.
Just
watching
in our room,
just watching
in our
the
boxers
news
or whatever the hell.
Watching the news.
Yep.
Now
you know what?
Now we have killer hornets.
Oh my god, Asia, man. Asia hornets. They're so I can't even, like, nothing. And we have UFO appearing. Like, and no one cares.
The government literally
did you know that?
said, yeah, they literally said, "Hey, confirmed aliens," and then no one said anything.
Literally, the Navy was
Dude.
like, "Hey guys, like here's some 2 UFO videos we have for you."
They
And we're like,
knew.
"Fuck you."
They knew it would fall under the rug so quick. They were just like, release it.
Damn, they're good, man. Shit, did you watch those though? It's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty creepy.
Whatever, bro.
But there's moments in this movie where she's watching the news and it feels like that moment in Signs.
Yes. Where he's watching the news. Oh my god, the birthday party scene.
I'll never forget that scene. That scene
That
haunts
shit
me, like,
creeped
all
me
the
the fuck out, dude. I was 4 or 5 when I watched this shit, man. I was like terrified.
Dude, shout out to Joaquin.
He's been with us forever.
He's been with us forever. He's transformed, man.
Oh my gosh.
You wouldn't get it.
Perfect Joker placement, dude.
Enter the soundbite, man. Enter it.
My shot is going to be. I'm gonna do it when I like the whole visual aspect of the monster entering, so I'm doing it then. It's all CGI, but yeah. No, like this. I think it's like the second time when you actually see it like forming from the clouds and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah, where it's like it goes into the news and it's actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I like those scenes, and like I said, they did what they had to with their budget, and I wasn't like, oh, this looks terrible, you know?
Yeah.
Even when they fight and stuff, it was actually pretty.
The
pretty
budget was
decent.
$15 million and it made $4 million, dude.
No way.
Yeah. This is definitely a cult hit, I feel.
Damn.
It's gonna come out. And
They lost.
people are gonna be like, 2 years from now, they're gonna on Twitter. It's gonna be like, oh, like hipsters are gonna be raving about this movie. You know?
They lost that much on it. Fucking hell, man.
I know.
It's a neon.
I don't think he cares.
It's a
though.
neon movie, so.
Yeah, neon ate the cost. You know.
Bong Joon covered it up with other
Exactly.
stuff. Nacho
coming in clutch, man.
Nacho has another movie out that actually looks really interesting. Very it's like the other movie he directed.
The time travel one?
Yes. You know how I like time travel, bro.
I know.
But it's like a thriller.
Did you ever see the one with Hayden Christensen?
Dude, Jumper? Duh, bro.
Is that time travel or is that just special powers that make you jump?
He could teleport.
Okay. Of course you fucking know. You like know the whole plot.
Dude, and Samuel L. Jackson? Fuck yeah, that movie's good.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for number 2, bro. They freaking touted it, and then no one's making it.
How do you remember? Is Rachel Bilson in that movie?
Universal, give me the fucking check. Come here.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'll sign it. I'll sign it.
Start the storyboard.
I'll pay for Samuel L. Jackson myself in the second one, okay?
Get Quentin on the line.
Oh my god. Hey,
he has a movie
Sammy
with
J, we need to go get some brunch. I got an idea for.
I got that purple saber for you.
That's a good movie.
A movie with Elijah Wood too.
Which one?
Nacho. He directed a movie with Elijah Wood in it, and it's I think it's supposed to be like a stalker movie.
Is that the one where he's in like the woods or whatever?
I don't know. I've just seen the poster.
Oh, Elijah's.
But it sounds like
Elijah does some crazy shit now.
He really does. Do you remember Disturbia, dude?
Yeah, dude, stop talking about it, bro. All right. You guys know what's coming next. One of those fucking 5 or whatever we just talked about. God damn. We gotta give it scores, man. We gotta give it shot counter. Okay. 0 shots. 0 shots being the best movie we've ever watched. We don't need to be drunk. 5 being blacked out drunk. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You could fill it yourself out. I'm going.
Don't give it a 4. Don't
begging me? What the fuck? Why are you begging me?
Is it you're gonna give it a 4? Bro.
I'm giving it a 4.
Oh, damn that pause. You
Stamp.
gotta kill it like
Stamp of
that.
approval from Sam. Of
Holy
de-approval.
shit.
4
That's
out of 5.
insane.
4. So close to blacked out, bro. So close.
He just didn't connect. That's okay.
I
That's
didn't
okay. We can't
connect,
hold it against you.
guys. We didn't even say it at the beginning, but if you made it this far and you haven't watched, go watch it, though. Don't take my fucking opinion for it. But 4 out
Well,
of
take
5.
mine.
I just
I
feel
liked it a
like...
lot.
I just let me give him my short little TLDR. I just feel like, it didn't. I couldn't connect with the characters. It wanted to go left. It went right and left, and it's just like it didn't delve deeper than in these topics that are good, but it just didn't land it for me. So 4 out of 5. I think I'm agreeing with the critics on this one at a 59 percentile on Rotten Tomatoes.
Gosh, your meter.
Or the audience score. The critic score actually gives it an 81. So I'm curious to see what you think about it.
Because they're deep. They like how deep it is.
The critics are
they love the
paid,
metaphor.
bro.
They want the metaphor.
That's where their 14 million went to.
I give it a 2.
Wow.
Dude, that's actually like, I almost want to give it a 1. Because it did, but it just felt kind of jumbled at points. But the acting was amazing. The script was really tight. Like, if you think about it, there could have been so many plot holes in this movie, but there really wasn't. I maybe if you watch it again, you really look, you could find one. But
in terms of
really
plot, there
well.
wasn't. Yeah, but in terms of like questions that we had, there's a lot. Like like decision making wasn't. Yeah, but
I don't know. The dialogue was great. The acting was amazing, and I gotta give him props for the originality and really diving into a topic in a new way.
Yeah,
me and my like relationship movies, man. I gotta, I just connect with it on a level. If you say you're in a relationship and you break up, I'm into it.
Oh my god. I mean, it did subvert expectations, right? I thought it was gonna go down the typical romantic comedy, like we're talking about, with like this, unique kind of twist with the monsters, but it was more than that. So.
Plus, it's like it showcased Korean, man. It showcased Hangul. It's the easiest language to learn how to read in my. Honestly, I'm not even kidding.
Oh, when she wrote the thing.
Yeah, when he went and grabbed the message.
Is that the language?
Yeah. Yep, it's Hangul.
It looked cool, dude. That's for sure. It looked like signs though.
I know, but it's so freaking easy. There's only like 26. I don't know what to call them. I forget 26 characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your Korean history lesson with Nicole.
We gotta learn it, dude. We gotta go.
Go on our world tour.
Before everyone likes the Bong Joon episodes. Yeah. Hey Bong, can we spend the night?
In the basement?
Yeah, just make the futon, bro. We're just gonna be there one night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, that's it for the Colossal review.
We did it. You made it.
You made it this far. Congratulations. Man, what are we going to do next? We don't know. But
we don't.
What we do know is it will be out on Tuesday next week, so you have to be here. So hit the subscribe button, like and follow the podcast on your wherever you listen to your podcast. So that way you get that sweet little notification when you wake up, when you're sleepy in the morning, and it says Film Crawl new episode. So, Nicole, do you have any last words before we let you go?
No, my roommate's cooking like onions right now, and it smells really good.
Damn, we're about to smack some dinner. All right,
dinner
guys.
Time.
We will see you next Tuesday. We hope you guys have a wonderful week and stay safe out there. Bye, crawlers.
Yep. Bye.